This is the Big O Show.
Oh, yeah. We are ready. Good morning. It's a Super Monday, right? I guess, right? It's Super Monday. Well, I'm sure it's Super Monday in Chiefs land with that victory yesterday as they came back to win it. And it was one of those where, I got to tell you, I don't think anybody nailed this Super Bowl better than I did, okay? I pretty much said it was going to be a slow first half. I told you that they would win. We went with the under, by the way. It's 2 weeks in a row where you, me, and Steve, 2 out of 3 because we had an off week. But 2 out of 3 where we're on a roll there. We got the under and the Chiefs win on that one. So, and what did I tell you guys? That the Chiefs defense would be a key in this game. And that's exactly what happened. They weren't dominant because they weren't going to be dominant. But I told you that they would make some plays, and that's exactly what happened. And listen, yesterday was one of those days where I would tell you that the universe made sense. Everything kind of fell into place, okay? And those of you out there that are 49ers fans, look, I apologize, and I'm sorry about this. I don't mean in a way that you didn't deserve to win a title because you guys had a great season, a great defense, and you had the opportunity to win it. But there is nothing better than watching Andy Reid win that championship. Okay? I'm not a Kansas City fan. I'm not a San Fran fan. But I am an Andy Reid fan. I think a lot of people are. Anybody that has watched football for a long time, you have to admire Andy Reid. It has to be in your DNA. Maybe you're a Cowboys fan or something and you have that hatred when he was an Eagles coach or whatever, but you have to appreciate what Andy Reid is all about as a human being, all the things that he's gone through personally, obviously. And then, he had to live also with something for a long time. And we've watched others have to live with that monkey on their backs. It's a monkey that becomes a King Kong gorilla, right? And, well, Andy Reid can't win the big game. And I used to kind of, get into the discussion with people about this. So what you're telling me is he's a bad coach and you can't get it done? Well, no, he can't win the bad game. He's not good enough. Dude, have you watched him? He develops coaches that become NFL head coaches. He develops quarterbacks left and right. He wins all the time. Hey, look, sometimes you need everything to kind of align for you to win that championship. And finally, everything aligned for him to win that championship. He had the right quarterback, not one that was throwing up in the huddle. You know what I'm saying? And so he had a good enough defense. He made the switch to Spagnuolo, which obviously made a difference. And they made some additions on defense. And then this is a guy that has kind of fought through all of this throughout his whole career. He wins a whole bunch of games. He has another winning season. He gets Alex Smith to play in an aggressive nature that he's never played before. He developed Donovan McNabb. You name it. And now he drafted and developed this kid. I mean, Andy Reid has done it all. And he has the respect of everybody in the NFL. And I think a lot of people kind of felt that, that for not a lot of times things in life work out for the right people. And sometimes we see players or coaches have to walk out, whether it's Marty Schottenheimer never sees a championship or Dan Marino never sees a championship or Ernie Banks. And we could just go on and on and on and on and on and talk about the different players and coaches and Marv Levy and people that deserve to celebrate a championship, and they just did not get that opportunity because things did not fall into place. And for Andy Reid, he's had to live with a personal hell every single year because he has to deal with those of you out there that think he's not really a great coach. because he hasn't won the big one. So in some people's eyes, Marv Levy isn't great because his Buffalo team didn't win it that one time, which it's ridiculous. Marv Levy is one of the great coaches of all time. But because he doesn't win the championship, and it's so unfair, and it's unfair that some of them have to then retire and then carry. I did a segment on Saturday where, I think it was Saturday or Friday, where all of the negative stories around the Super Bowl. Well, what about if this guy loses and that guy loses, and Mahomes looks like a lot like Marino? You get there early and you never get back, and it's like, you've already got him losing? You've got Pat Mahomes losing and never coming back. And I'm like, can we just wait till it actually happens? And then maybe we'll talk about it. Then we'll compare it. And then I hated it because then my guy Dan Marino has to be brought up again over and over. And so we got to remind Marino that he went early and never went back again. Like he doesn't hear it himself in his mind constantly. Come on. It gets to a point where it's kind of ridiculous, right? Let's create a negative storyline. And why don't we just actually write what's going on right now? It's an exciting moment for Pat Mahomes. He's a young guy. Can you imagine him winning the Super Bowl? Which he does win it, and he becomes the youngest guy to win the Super Bowl MVP and the league MVP. So why don't you talk about that? Why don't you talk about the greatness of the kid? You know what I mean? Why don't you talk about how great Andy Reid is as a coach and what he has done? Instead of, well, if Andy comes up short again and all that, well, wait till he comes up short. Then you can talk about it, like Shanahan, and we'll get to that. That's when you talk about it, when it's but that's kind of what was underlined throughout the week, right? It's the negative, story about that guy and this guy and that guy, and nothing's happened yet. Yet we already want to paint it into a negative. It's just really weird. So for me personally, I love that Andy Reid does not have to live with that demon anymore. He doesn't have to deal with the idiots that say, yeah, he's a good coach, but there's no buts anymore. The guy won it. He deserved it. He has developed that franchise from scratch. He actually pulled, I don't know what's the closest thing to a Theo Epstein. Because Theo's thing is to eliminate 100 years of losing. Well, he eliminated 50. Not really losing, but 50 without winning a championship is what I mean. You understand what I'm saying. 50-year void. And the league's 100, right? So the Dolphins make the playoffs on average every 8 years, like 01, 08, 16. So the Chiefs now can't win another one for 50 years? Because you think about it, if the league's 100 and they won it 50 years ago in 1970, the league was 50 then. I'm just saying, Kansas City. Hey, we're not far behind you, okay? 73 for us. So we're only a couple years behind you there on trying to win one. Obviously, they went to a couple in the 80s, but didn't get it done. But I'm happy for Andy Reid. I really am. I just think that it's just something that he needed to kind of just get all that crap off of him. And now he openly gets that love that he deserves, even from the folks that think, well, he's not good enough. You can't say that anymore now. And who knows? Maybe this is Andy's time now. I don't know if this is going to turn into a dynasty. I have no idea. A lot of things have to happen for this to become a dynasty. You got to have things go your way. That there's something else when you look at this team and when you look at the Chiefs winning, okay? This is the part that's kind of interesting with all of this. This is a likable bunch in every way, shape, and form. Andy Reid, likable. Pat Mahomes, likable. The Hunt family for Kansas City, it's like Rooney's. It's like the Maras. It's royalty. It's one of those families that you're like, okay, that's a real football family, right? I mean, his dad is the guy that started the AFL. His dad forced the merger of the AFL and the NFL, right? So the Hunt family, a likable family too. The Chiefs, I think, are a likable franchise. While I don't know, Ravens and Raiders and, certain teams have gone through and probably still in some ways, shape, and form because of the way they do things, they might not be liked by others. Kansas City's not that team. Everybody knows about their cookouts. Everybody admires Arrowhead. Everybody admires the Sea of Red. Everybody admires that fan base. It's like it's a likable situation. It's not really, it's that Midwest love, right? It's just one of those things that I think that's the other thing about this that is kind of cool, that it's a likable bunch. I mean, how do you not like Pat Mahomes? It's impossible not to like Pat Mahomes. You don't have to be a Chiefs fan. It's just flat out impossible to dislike him. It's flat out impossible to dislike Andy Reid. At the end of the game, he's praising his players. He's praising his assistant coaches. And then he follows up with, what about Kansas City and the organization and the fans? Because in the midst of him getting that damn King Kong off his back, he's not thinking about that. He doesn't mention, man, thank the Lord I finally got over the hump here and I don't have to hear from people. None of that. He's thanking everybody else. He's happy for the Chiefs kingdom. He's happy for the Hunt family. That's the selfless attitude that, again, is likable, is lovable about Andy Reid. It's just the way he comes off. The way you see players, you can tell they like him, they love him, they want to play for him. You know what I'm saying? It's impressive, man. I got to say, I am so freaking impressed with the way Andy Reid carries himself, the way the Chiefs have carried themselves. Most of those players, again, I mean, even Travis Kelce, his crazy ass is likable. One of those deals. I look at that team and it's easy to root for them. Obviously, the only team I want to see lifting that trophy is my Dolphins. And maybe one day, we'll get to see it. I don't know. But I will say this, that watching what went on last night, that was something that I think most of us kind of feel with them, that this is a bunch that got what they deserved, And we're talking about a team that was inches away from maybe winning 2 of these. And they finally got it this year. And who knows? We'll see what obviously is set for them down the line. Because eventually you got to pay people. And then that kind of gets in the way of you winning sometimes, because everybody wants to get paid. Everybody wants to get rewarded. And when that Pat Mahomes contract comes up, wow. Okay? Wow. It's going to be a hell of a contract, because he's going to go into his 4th year next year. And that's the contract negotiation year. You don't let him get to 5th. So something's going to happen either this offseason or sometime during the season of next year or next year's offseason. He will be signed to a monster contract. And you got to pay him. And you got no choice. And then that's when it becomes the hurdle of trying to keep everybody together. That's why it's important that they won early in this window, because you don't know when it closes. And when it does, it's over and you got no shot again. And then you've got to kind of reload and put yourself back in that spot. And we've talked about those windows of opportunity. And here you go. Team got to do it before they paid their quarterback. Now they got to pay their quarterback. They're going to go through some of the things that Seattle and Baltimore went through. After they had to pay their quarterback, they ended up losing pieces in a big-time way because once you have success, everybody wants to get rewarded because of that success. Everybody feels it's part of, you had that success because of me. So it'll be interesting to see how they can keep it going, but likable bunch, man. There is no doubt that that is a likable bunch. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there. Jay says, good morning, O. Great game yesterday. Looking forward to your post-game comments. Thank you, sir. Frank Moreno says, morning, Big O. What a game it was. It was a beautiful game. User Tom 6060. Good morning, guys. Thank you. Emilio, good morning, boys. From home in Wyandotte, Michigan. Finally home for a couple days. Well, enjoy, my friend. Myron says, I just want to congratulate the Chiefs. I blame my coach for the loss, and Myron, you should blame your coach for the loss. Man of 1,005 holds, Kyle Chokan does it again. Hey, that's a legitimate one. We'll get to that. What a comeback for the Chiefs. It was a good game. Let's see. Congratulations, Chad Henne and Matt Moore. And Damian Williams. Yeah, Damian Williams, you could say MVP too. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs, the great state of Kansas. The Trump reference. You know about that? Trump tweets out yesterday on congratulating the Kansas City Chiefs on winning it all. So Trump tweets out, let's see here. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs on a great game and a fantastic comeback under immense pressure. You represented the great state of Kansas and, in fact, the entire USA so very well. Our country is proud of you. And as everybody knows, it's in Missouri. So way to go, President. Way to make yourself look like a complete ass. Nice job. Yeah, true. They are for real, unlike Dolphin fans. Right, exactly. Yeah, you're right, of course. Good morning, Big O. Great Super Bowl, says 72 Fins logo. Those are some of the folks that are chiming in. And look, for those of you that are chiming in on Kyle Shanahan deserves what he gets, and that's a ton of criticism. His teams, Atlanta, where he was the O coordinator, and now San Fran, where he's the head coach, have been outscored by 46 points in the fourth quarter of two Super Bowl games. Two Super Bowl games that in those fourth quarters, you have 7 drives, okay? You have 4 punts, 2 turnovers, 1 failed fourth down, and 6 first downs. And yesterday, you chose, during those losses, you have run the ball 6 times and passed it 21 with leads. Your team is a running team, not a passing team. And Kyle Shanahan gets every choker label and criticism that whatever anybody lays on him, he has to sit there and take it like a man because he's the reason why they lost that game. Now, part of being a champion, part of being clutch, because I don't want this to happen. Well, KC didn't. No, they choked away Atlanta. San Fran gave them the game. No, man. No, Kansas City took the game away. Part of all of this is in winning a game, you got to make plays, obviously. In winning a game, you've got to call the right plays. You got to have the right pieces in place, and you've got to decipher your opponent in a way that you can put them at a disadvantage. He chose not to. Tyrann Mathieu, after the game, said, man, I am glad they chose to pass the ball. Because even Tyrann Mathieu knows that his team is not that good against the run. They were averaging 6 yards a carry. Hello, Jimmy Johnson and Alonzo Highsmith and Penn State and Fiesta Bowl. Okay? Same thing. Jimmy Johnson was a freaking moron that day. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a great coach. He pissed away a championship. All right? And so if we're going to say Kyle Shanahan pissed away a championship, I'm telling you, Jimmy Johnson pissed away a championship. That I still haven't recovered from that game. That's 1986, and I haven't recovered from that game because it was just common sense. Just hand it off to Alonzo Highsmith and you win the game. Mostert was killing them. He made play after play in that game. You have a three-headed monster. Use it, bro. And when you have 139 left in the half, you're playing against Kansas City, and you choose not to take that timeout right away. You let the clock roll down. Your GM was caught on camera saying timeout because your GM has more balls than you do, Kyle. Brother, your BBs have got to drop one day. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me? You gotta, and then they get the big pass play, and then you're out of time already at that point. You ruined it. Plus, you're getting the ball to start the third quarter. That's what you want to do. You want to bury these guys. You're playing against Pat Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid. You're playing against people that know offense, that are explosive on offense. Kyle, my brother, cojones, buddy. Let's strap on a pair. I saw that at half. You know what that told me? I don't have the confidence in my quarterback. I think he'll screw it up in that minute and 39. And then all of a sudden, instead of a tie game, we're down. That's what that told me. So then you got the wrong quarterback then. I mean, that's the only way I can look at. Don't tell me that you have confidence in your guy. A minute and 39? A minute and Dan Marino can score twice in a minute and 39. I saw Marino score once. I crap you not. I was about to say the S word. I think it was like 29 seconds. And he was like on his 15 or 20 or something like that. Drove the length of the field. Boom, 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 touchdown. And you got the wrong guy. So if you're going to coach scared, you can't beat Pat Mahomes. I'm sorry, dude. Because they're going to take chances. They're going to throw the ball downfield against a much better defense. Because San Francisco's a much better defense. So Kyle Shanahan, in all of his criticism, whether it's clock management, mismanagement, whether it's not running the ball, whether it's being scared with a minute and 39 left in the half, but you are part of two choke jobs. Super Bowl 51 and now 54 are under your watch, my man. There's no other way of looking at this thing. And he gets every single bit of criticism you want to lay on that guy. He deserves it all. And there's no other way around it. Okay? You have two monster Super Bowl losses within a couple of years because you coached scared. because you did not actually coach smart. Smart or scared. One of the two. And I don't know if you'll ever get there again, because let me tell you something. You're going to have to pay people too. Because that D-line, that ain't coming cheap. And that's going to take away from other places that you may want to improve down the line. For these teams, the keys will be for them to draft well, so that way they can kind of replace some of those guys with young guys that they lose, because they're not going to be able to pay everybody. So that window of opportunity for San Francisco is also one of those that we don't know how long it's going to be open. But they just ruined their first shot at it. Will they get one next year again? We're going to find out. We'll definitely find out. They just signed Mostert to a new contract last year as a top special teamer. Now they may have to restructure that contract because he will probably be their starting running back next year. I know they'll have a stable, but he is their number one guy. That's what it looks like. So you're probably going to have to adjust that contract. So that's more money out the door that you've got to pay. And I don't think they've paid George Kittle yet. I'm not sure. I have to look it up if George Kittle has a new contract. I don't think he does. I mean, and when you got Boza, luckily it's only his first year, so you've got a couple more years to wait for that. But that's going to be a big ass contract too. And I don't know where D Ford is at, but that's another guy that you're going to owe him some money. I mean, that's how this whole thing works.
5 first-round picks on that defensive line.
Yeah,
and the way they play.
Yeah.
They are going to want raises.
Yeah, of course. And they deserve the raises.
You know what makes no sense? Like you were saying, right before the half, he shows that he doesn't have trust.
Oh, yeah.
In Garoppolo.
Yes.
You get to the end of the game, and now you're going to have trust in the guy.
Yeah.
You know? I don't – that change of – plan.
Well, it's just not using intelligence.
No, and what got you there?
Yeah.
Running the ball. Man, you do not, in the championship game, change what got you there,
You got to stay with your identity.
This makes you you.
Yeah.
Stay the course.
They have the gunslinger. You don't. Garoppolo can pass, but he's not a gunslinger. Mahomes, that's a whole different ballgame, bro. That's another level player. You know what I mean? That's just a guy that they don't make those kind of guys all the time. You know, Kansas City's lucky they got one of those guys. But Shanahan doesn't understand what he has. And that's why he screwed up.
3 playoff games in a row, 21 unanswered points. Never. He's the first.
Yeah.
And you think about the Tennessee game where they scored 21 points and 3-something? The last 6 minutes to score 21 points in the Super Bowl. The guy, he is special, man. Bottom line.
No doubt. We do want to remind you that the show is proudly brought to you by Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealership in the Southeast United States. Over 400,000 square feet. They're open till midnight every night. They got all kinds of great programs right now. 0% financing for 72 months. And some great pre-owned deals, 2020 models. The Corolla LE right now, listen to this, it lists at $22,000. They're not even selling it at $16,000. $13,775. They got some amazing deals going on out there and a great selection at 1841 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. It is Toyota of Hollywood. All right. All right, we are back.
This is the Big O Show.
By the way, Doug and Victoria, okay, just want to tell you, look back here. Thank you so much. I told you that I would include the Rush lunchbox in the studio. There we go. Doug and Victoria bought this for me at VSS West Pines, which will be there later on this month. We'll be out at VSS West Pines. There we go. I like it. Thank you so much. Really, 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 really cool that you guys got that lunchbox for me. That was so nice of you, man.
Rush's new home, hanging out with
Yes.
France
Yeah, France and Spider-Man,
left shoulder of Spider-Man.
a little Jose Fernandez, which, by the way, I can announce, speaking of the late Jose Fernandez, we will be at Marlins Fan Fest, our tent. We will be broadcasting 3 to 7 on Saturday. Saturday, we're going to give you a 4-hour show. Hopefully, we'll have interviews with players, maybe the manager, maybe Jeter. I don't know. Hopefully, we'll see what we can get out there at Marlins Fan Fest. So if you are going to be out at Marlins Fan Fest, come on out, man. We would love to see you, meet you, say hi. So we'll have a little fun this Saturday at Marlins Fan Fest. How about that, huh? That's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be good. I like it. So check it out. If you happen to be going to Fan Fest, pick your seats, all that good stuff for the upcoming season. You will catch our show there live at Marlins Park, which is a beautiful thing. We're actually going back and forth now with them on setting everything up for Saturday. So it'll be good. Can't wait for that, man. We'll have a little fun with that. What else do we have here on the YouTube chat board? Nico says, enough about the game. Let's talk Shakira and J-Lo. LOL. Great game. Congrats to the Chiefs. We got to get into J-Lo and Shakira. No doubt about that. Ian from Brooklyn says, he does that on the regular. What's up, guys? He does that on the regular. What does that mean? I don't understand. Kyle Shanahan couldn't hide Jimmy G last night. That's what Rick the Bad Boy says. Big O, I'm so disappointed and sad that Zach Thomas didn't get in. Yeah, no, I'm with you there on that. No idea why Shanahan didn't hammer Mostert down the Chiefs' throat. Only 22 total rushes all game. Let's also mention the fact that he didn't take a timeout before the half. Well, I did that. Yeah, definitely. Preserving 40 seconds. Dumb. No, I mentioned that. It's stupid. Kyle will never win a championship. He's a bad coach in a close game. That's what Myron says. They have to pay Warner too, I think. They got to pay a bunch of people. That's why it becomes a mission. NorCal says, Big O, do you think Tannehill will play for the Titans this coming season? Oh, yeah. Yes. I think they'll be stupid enough to sign him to a long-term deal, and he'd be stupid to leave a guy that's going to get 200 yards a game. Amen 241 says, a Chiefs dynasty coming, ? But happy for one of the best fan bases in the league. I'm with you, man. They're a likable fan base. And look, how many times have you said it yourself? Okay, this only counts to hardcore football fans. Because if you're not a hardcore football fan, you'll never say this, right? You'll say, I got to go to Lambeau Field one day. You could be any fan in the league of the other 31 teams. Hardcore football fans all want to go to Lambeau Field at least once. Even this idiot here next to me that's a Bears fan. Okay, it'll probably be a Bears-Packers game that he wants to go to, but it's still Lambeau Field. Okay? I did want to go to Soldier Field, but you guys turned it into a spaceship now. Thing looks like a spaceship.
The pillars are still there.
Yeah, that's true. We can still find the pillars at least. You're right about that.
And I have been outside, and they've got, it's Soldier, like when you're there.
Right. You feel it.
Man.
You feel it.
History.
So one of them is Kansas City. I think all hardcore football fans are like, I got to go to a game in Kansas City. I mean, not only the game, we're all dying to just eat barbecue outside Kansas City. That's all. I mean, not only that, it's just that's one of those things. So, yeah, man, they're likable in every way. Dougie Fresh says, halftime show, yes, hot bods by both ladies, but where was the music? Victoria and I say, thank you, looks great. Well, thank you, my friend. No, thank you. Okay? Looks phenomenal. Looks awesome. It's great stuff. You guys are too much, man. It's awesome. Really is. Let's talk a little bit about that halftime show. Now, look, it's not about music, right? It was the hottest halftime show ever. Not the best. I don't know if you guys saw Mike Wilbon. He tweeted out, "This was the greatest halftime show ever, with all due respect with Prince, and I'm a Prince fan." And let me tell you something. Mike Wilbon, you must be drunk, brother. Okay? To compare anything to Prince and his halftime show and that guitar, In the Rain, Purple Rain, all that stuff, get the hell out of here, bro. Please don't compare a real musician, a super talent like Prince, to these ladies. These ladies are super talented in their bodies, their faces. Their music is not. Shakira can sing. I will give her that. J-Lo, whatever. She's got a decent voice. But it's that bubblegum music does nothing for me whatsoever. We've had this conversation before. I'm just not into that kind of music. I'm not impressed. Now, the choreography was awesome. The ladies looked phenomenal. Okay, I will go. This was the hottest halftime show ever because the two women are smoking freaking hot. But let's go back to the Hall of Fame. Remember the discussion we had last week that we have this standard that we want the Hall of Fame to be, but it's never going to be the Hall of Elite. Okay? And as I told you guys, remember this, if we made it the Hall of Elite, Zach Thomas does not get in. Okay? But anyway, we have this thing about the Super Bowl halftime show that we want to make it, some of us, about pure musicians. And if it was about that, then yeah, obviously you take these two ladies off the stage and you bring in real people that can sing and play instruments and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. And they're trying to capture the largest audience possible at halftime, which is women. This is why when you have the Olympics on prime time, they're airing a lot of figure skating because there are more women than men in this country and in this world. And if you can put stuff that they're more, attracted to, you're going to get more viewers. And who runs most households? The women. So they're the ones that do a lot of the buying. And they know all about all this. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make the most entertaining halftime show. Not necessarily the most gifted artists to go. Because if I wanted to do that, then I'd put Adele on stage. But Adele's not going to dance. She's not. Yeah, although Adele, she did lose a lot of weight, and she looks good. Congratulations to her. But she's still not going to be J-Lo or Shakira. You get it? Now, J-Lo and Shakira combined will never be Adele. You know what I'm saying? So we can go in that direction, and we can put, like the year they put Bruno Mars, that's pretty cool. Because at least, if you're a rocker, you don't care about Bruno Mars. But if you at least understand music and talent and musicians, Bruno Mars plays a bunch of instruments. He dances. He sings. I mean, he is just exceptionally talented. You know what I'm saying? So if we're going to do that, then we put these kind of people on stage. We put Adele. We put Bruno Mars. And then we've got talent. You know what I'm saying? When Whitney Houston's singing the national anthem, that's talent. That's just nasty Hall of Fame talent. These two ladies are not Hall of Famers. But in the entertainment side of it, you had to love it, man. It was a great halftime show. It was sexy. It was Miami. It was Latin. It was hot. It was all Miami. I mean, it was great. I mean, you're getting J-Lo on a stripper pole. Are you kidding me, bro? You got to be happy with that. And Shakira looked stunning. One of the things I like about Shakira I was having this conversation with my wife. J-Lo is drop dead gorgeous. There's no doubt about that, right? But the other day when they're doing their little press thing and promoting the halftime show and they're both sitting there, J-Lo's gorgeous, but she is dressed to the nines. I mean, she is sharp, made up, hair's impeccable, all of that. Shakira comes in a t-shirt, jeans, and she's just got her hair down, and she doesn't have a ton of makeup on or nothing. She got very little makeup on. She has that natural beauty that I really like. Because the less makeup you have on and the more natural you look, the more I find you attractive. That's kind of who I am. I'll give you an idea. Everybody knows, or some of you know who Susanna Hoffs is, right? The lead singer from the Bangles. Go follow Susanna Hoffs on Instagram, okay? And for me, I find her gorgeous. And she has these pictures that she just puts up, and it's just her face. No makeup, dude. Nothing. But she's got that natural beauty. You know what I mean? That, if she made herself up, she'll look like a gorgeous woman, because she is. But without the makeup, she still looks beautiful, but it's a different kind of, it's a natural beauty. You know what I'm saying? And I dig that. And so Shakira has a lot of that natural beauty. And look, that was one of those shows where everybody had to love it. It was entertaining. But if you were looking for music, that's not the place. Halftime for the Super Bowl is more about where are we going to get the most punch? Where are we going to get the most pub? With who? And obviously Shakira and J-Lo doing it, that's going to bring so much attention. People would watch Adele, but what you did at the halftime this year was the guys that would, break away, go have a beer, go talk outside in the patio, go smoke a cigarette or a cigar. Hell, you could smoke a cigar as long as that halftime was. If you would have brought out a different kind of act, a lot of people would have checked out. But when you brought J-Lo and Shakira in, you kept a lot of men sitting in front of that couch, not just the women. The women are going to watch. You guaranteed you had all the women watching. Because they want to look, they want to see what Shakira and J-Lo look like. I mean, one's 43, the other one's 50, and they look stunning. And women admire stuff like that. Or some of them may want to try to find a fault in one of them or the other. That kind of stuff that women do. The guys, come on, every guy in the world was drooling watching those two women. Smoking hot. What's the other thing I thought of that I think nobody thinks of? Something silly. This was a moment of publicity, a good moment, and, a check on their resume for J-Lo and for Shakira, right? And I don't even know who the hell those rappers were. They were probably some Latin rappers in Central and South America. They're probably enormous over there. Or maybe they're enormous here. I just don't know who the hell they were. But the part that I thought was pretty cool, think about this. All the dancers that were there. What a great moment for those folks. Like for J-Lo, she's going to go, oh, yeah, one day, once I did the Super Bowl halftime show, whatever. And it'll be a thrill for her, but not that much. It's all right. Yeah, whatever. It's cool. But for all those dancers, that might have been their pinnacle of their dancing careers. You know what I mean? That's the one thing that I think most everybody overlooks. But all of the other people that were around J-Lo and Shakira, those folks, man, that was a big moment for those people right there. Their loved ones, their family members are trying to find them on the floor, dancing with Shakira or J-Lo, all that stuff. I just wanted to be in the crowd when Shakira went body surfing. That's all. I wanted to hold her up. in a specific spot. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. I wonder if they were like, when they were passing her around in the crowd, I wonder if they were all like told, hold her by her legs and back. Do not hold her ass up. I'm just wondering. Nobody touched Shakira's ass.
Did you notice that it was kind of like a group of guys, and they got her and they kind of
guided her?
Yeah,
through the sea?
It
wasn't an exchange.
She was laid to these guys.
She was
and
laid?
these guys
She was laid?
laid to those guys.
All right. She was laid.
We saw
Shakira was laid. Nothing wrong with that, right? It's always good to get laid. I was just, hey, man, you know, just something told me there was a memo passed. And she's like, all right, guys, carry me, take me to the next part, but don't hold my ass. Guys are like, I can't help myself. It's like, Charmin, you got to squeeze it. Let's see, what else do we have here? Wilbon was high and drunk if he said that. Oh, yeah, no, he said it. He said it. Go look at his tweet. He got killed for it. I mean, they roasted his ass on social media. He tweeted out, oh, this is the greatest halftime show ever. With all due respect to Prince, I'm a Prince fan, but this is better. And I'm like, get the hell out of here, dude. That's Prince right now is up in heaven, like doing some voodoo on your ass now from here on out. Nico goes, how can anyone compare lip syncing to Prince? Prince's halftime show is the best. I still watch it every now and then because it's that good. Everybody can watch that one. That one is so good, dude. How come JT wasn't named in the all-time greats? I don't know, dude. I don't know. Oh, nice. Oh, you like my Spicoli shirt? There's my shirt today is it's a Spicoli shirt. And then it has the words under. It says, what would Spicoli do? So it's WW, SD. So there you go. So yes. Figured we'll have a little fun today. You like my Spicoli shirt?
But of course.
I had to get a Spicoli shirt. I got this one, and I got also, it's Mike Damone's ticket office or something, whatever, like Damone always sold tickets in the movie. So I have one of those where it has Damone's picture and concert
Cheap
tickets.
trick. That's kid stuff.
Yeah. Come on, the music.
Of Robin Van Zant. The Dream Police. Your mama's all right.
Yeah, exactly, man. Come on. Yeah. They have a place that has, what is it, Frog shirts or Frog T-shirts or whatever that company is. And they've got all these funky type shirts. So I bought a couple of those, and this was one that I had to have. The Spicoli one was just so freaking classic.
Where'd you get that jacket?
Yeah, it's such a nice jacket. It was Bad Bunny in from Puerto Rico and Balvin Colombian, LMAO. Okay, so that's Bad Bunny. I've heard of Bad Bunny a lot. I don't know anything about Bad Bunny. He's like a reggaeton rapper or some crap like that, right? I'm not into reggaeton, bro. Sorry. No, I can't. Those guys were part of the act. The crowd was paid extras, too. No, I don't care about the crowd, but the dancers with them, those people, man, that's a big moment for those dancers. Oh, Neil Peart designed the 2112 album art. It speaks to you. The star represents group mentality, and the hero has to face them and guide them. Sound familiar? Ah. Okay. All right. Nice job by you. Alex Rodriguez chiming in. What up, Big O? A-Rod is watching? A-Rod, dude, what are you doing right now? You should be banging J-Lo. The hell, man? I mean, if I'm J-Lo, if I'm A-Rod, I wouldn't leave the bedroom. I swear I'd be Ethiopian looking at this point. I'd look like I hadn't eaten like in 800 years. Those poor kids, I'd look like that. I'd look like I was starving forever. That woman would suck everything out of me. I wouldn't want to leave the bedroom if I had J-Lo at home. She couldn't leave the bedroom if I had J-Lo at home. Big O, how can I purchase a Big O Show t-shirt if you have any? We will. We will have them very soon up on the website. We are finishing that up. I am sorry. We've had a little, couple delays here on all of that, but we are finalizing all of that this week, actually. Now that you mentioned that. So we will have Big O, couple different styles of Big O t-shirts, actually. So you will be able to purchase them. We're working on a lot of things, man. A lot of things that we're trying to hammer through, as they say. So Chiefs defeat the Niners 31-20. If you want to get in, by the way, on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, it's 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the program, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Watching the game yesterday, we were all entertained, right? We were watching a pretty good football game. We watched a great comeback. We watched a great coach finally get over the hump. We watched a great young quarterback get over the hump. And maybe start off, what he has already started a great career, but now, obviously, he has taken it to another stratosphere to add a championship to it. We saw a great halftime show. We were all entertained, right? I got to ask you something. What was Kareem Hunt thinking watching that Super Bowl? Because Damian Williams, who could be the MVP, we could all argue Damian Williams deserves to be the MVP, right? And I understand the quarterback's always going to be the quarterback, and they're always going to give him the upper hand. But Kareem Hunt could have been doing everything that Damian Williams is doing, and even at a higher level. And it should be a lesson to look at Antonio Brown. More apologies over the weekend and more stupidity, and, he's going to, fight what's the name of that guy? Logan Paul is challenging him to a fight. And he's like tweeting out over the weekend, hey, should I fight Logan Paul for $4.3 million? You should, because you're not making money doing anything else. So do that and get your ass kicked. But my point is that we're talking about a guy that pissed away his career so far. Because now he's going to be a free agent. Now he's going to go to a third team now. Because they got Chubb. They don't really need to sign him, right? And he's got problems as it is because he just got pulled over and had an open bottle. And the cop gave him a break. The video was released. And he was like, man, if you arrest me, I'm going to be drug tested and all this other stuff. So NFL teams are going to see this guy doesn't get it. He's high and drunk and the cops pulled him over. So even if you didn't get the ticket, Kareem, you still got the publicity of what you were high and drunk, and you're also stupid. Obviously, you're really a stupid human being. This is why you do these kind of things. And you got to be sitting there, Kareem, watching this. And I would imagine that you had chips and salsa. Maybe you had some ribs. Maybe you had some chicken wings. Maybe you had pizza while you were watching the Super Bowl. Do you know what Kareem Hunt was doing? He cut out his liver and was eating it. Basically. That was his life yesterday. Because if there's somebody that's got to be hating life right now, is Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt has to be the one guy that says, like, what have I done with my life? I was one of the best running backs in the NFL. I had one of the best coaches in the NFL, now a Super Bowl champion. He put me in a position to be really successful, and I pissed it away doing everything. And let me tell you something. On the flip side, how good does Kansas City feel that they let go of the lowlife and they still won the championship? Because remember, you have this attitude like, well, you're going to let this guy go? How do you recover? Well, they recovered. And I don't know if this will be a lesson for guys like Kareem or others out there that none of this is guaranteed. And you should never look at this like you're entitled to have it. You should always look at it like, I'm blessed. I'm lucky to have this opportunity. Let me take advantage. That's what you should be doing. And he failed to do that. And look at the position that he's put himself in. That's the sad part.
Do you really think with the stupid things he's done that he has the wherewithal to have that feeling?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's why that drinking and that smoking you saw in that car and the depressive state that he kind of was in when the cop pulled him over.
He kind of went to that because of having solace.
I think he's been there now for a while since what happened to him in Kansas City. And then he had the year of Cleveland, and he's like, oh, my God. Now I know what it's like to be part of a great organization with a great coach, with great ownership. Cleveland doesn't have great ownership. It doesn't have great coaching. It doesn't have a great front office. There's nothing about Cleveland that's great. And again, I'm not picking on the fans. I'm not picking on the city. It has nothing to do with it. I'm just talking about the stupid organization. And so now Kareem is like, man, I put myself in this position and I'm such an idiot. So do I think he's smart enough to stay on the right track? No, Bill. But I think that he's got to be smart enough to have regrets. Because I think we all are, even the biggest of criminals are sitting in jail with regrets. They may not even admit it to you. They may want to act tough and say, oh, I did what I had to do and this is who I am. But then when they go back into that cell and they sit there in the middle of the night, they're regretting it. And right now, Kareem Hunt is in jail right now, but it's a personal jail that he created himself. He put himself in that box. That's what he did. That guy has to be the only guy in the country yesterday that was hating that game. I mean, absolutely couldn't. He probably didn't even watch it to a certain extent. Or when Damian Williams scores, he probably turned off the TV. Okay? Maybe he turned off the TV the way the lady that had to turn down the fire a couple degrees, she grabbed a log and threw it out the window. That's probably what he did. He grabbed a log and threw it at the TV. Maybe he has that new TV.
Lexus, make it 3 degrees.
Yeah.
Colder. Yeah. You hear the guy on the sidewalk.
That was actually a decent commercial. That most of the commercials sucked, but that one was actually decent. So he and Kareem has got to have felt so bad yesterday. Either that or he's watching the game and there's a gallon jug of Maalox right next to him. And that's all. He's just chugging away watching it. And I can't imagine that guy was feeling good about anything yesterday. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. Let me tell you about Caneswear because we love talking about Brett and all the great people at Caneswear. We've been telling you about Caneswear. Oh, man. I want to say like 7, 8, 9 years or something. I don't know. It's been a long time that they've been it's like 9 years. They've been a sponsor of ours, and they're at 2511 South University Drive in Davie. The store is bigger and more beautiful than ever. All kinds of great Caneswear stuff. So get on down there and check it out for yourself. Hey, Jimmy Murphy is going to be out at Caneswear. How about that? He'll be signing autographs for you guys, taking pictures, and that happens February 8th. So come on out to Caneswear and take advantage. They've also got some the new baseball caps They are absolutely sweet. You're going to love those at Caneswear. So get on down to 2511 South University Drive in Davie, baby. Tell Brett and all the great people out there, Jeff, all these guys, they will take care of you. Tell them that Big O sent you, and trust me, they'll take care of you. Now, you want to meet Jimmy Murphy, you got to go February 8th, 4 to 6 p.m. So that's this Saturday, right? February 8th should be this Saturday, correct? Today's the 3rd.
We'll be hanging out at Marlins Stadium that day.
Yes, we will be at Marlins Park, but you can be at Caneswear meeting Jimmy Murphy from the Hurricanes, 4 to 6 p.m. this Saturday at Caneswear at Miami Fanwear. That's the spot where fans like us shop.